May I request for a stipulation with the Defense Counsel on the authenticity of this document by comparing it with the original?
We have no objection, Your Honor, to the issue of authenticity of the said document. In fact, we are adopting it as our Exhibit 43, Your Honor.
So that's it. Counsel, proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. After this Exhibit Sextuple D was issued by the department, by the Securities and Exchange Commission, as far as you know, were there any action taken by Basa Guidotti Enterprises, Inc. To revive the corporation?
None. The corporation did not file any petition to appeal the revocation order.
By the way, counsel, what is the purpose of this line of questioning? What are you trying to prove?
Yes, Your Honor, we are
trying to prove that this corporation is dead.
Yes, Your Honor.
Dissolved,
yes,
and that it cannot lend money.
No, Your Honor. We're just saying that after the revocation order was issued, the same became final and no action was taken by the corporation to revive the same,
yes,
Your Honor.
So in effect, what is the relevance of that fact to the proceeding?
Then the only matter that can be done by the corporation is just to liquidate the corporation,
so
and therefore,
what if it liquidates?
What
is the relevance of that fact of disillusionment to this proceeding?
Then, Your Honor, the corporation can no longer transact business.
Can no longer advance money to anybody.
Yes, Your Honor.
Well, then go to that point. Yeah, Senator from Taguig. Senator, the Minority Floor Leader.
Sir President, magandang hapon. Can I just pursue your question kung ano ang relevance?
Yes.
Just to clear things up, no? Kapag ang korporasyon ay may ginawa na hindi nila pwedeng gawin, ultra vires yun, di ba? Labag sa batas, labag sa kanilang charter.
Yes,
kung ang tao, pag inutangan mo at patay na ang tao, mapapatunayan mo hindi nagpautang yung tao na yun dahil patay na siya. It can be his estate or pwedeng isang ano. Pero yung korporasyon, pag sinabi ng SEC na patay na, ang sinasabi nyo, hindi na pwedeng magpautang. Hindi ba irrelevant yon? Kasi ang tanong dito, hindi yung batas ng SEC ang pinag-uusapan natin or corporation law ang pinag-uusapan natin dito. Ang pinag-uusapan po namin, kung tama po, ginoong prosecutor, whether or not totoong merong pong 11 million noong 2003, 11 million noong 2004, 10 million noong 2005, 8 million 2006, 2007, 6.5 million, 5 million noong 2008, at 3 million noong 2009. Meaning, kahit patay na yung korporasyon, kung family corporation to kung may bank account o may pera sila, pwede pa rin sila magpautang So, anong relevance kung buhay pa yung korporasyon o hindi? Hindi po ba ang dapat natin patunayan to kung totoo o hindi na nagpautang yung corporation? Yun ang pinupunto natin dito. Hindi kung buhay ang korporasyon o hindi. Kasi kahit patay na ang corporation, de facto wise, you can still get the money. Can still loan the money out. Can you clarify on that matter, please?
Yes, Your Honor. That's another point. What we're saying here is has a relation to the truthfulness of the entries in the statement of assets and liabilities.
Mr. Counsel, ang relevancy ng sinasabi ninyo, what is untruthful? If the question is, did that corporation or body or group of person lend money, that is reflected in the end of the respondent.
Kanya nga po, Your Honors, ang sinasabi po natin dahil nirevoke na po at ang tanging pwede na lang pong gawin ng korporasyon ay i-liquidate at i-distribute yung assets.
We will take your opinion in advisement.
Yes, Your Honor.
We will take your opinion into consideration, but that is not, you have not established the connection of what you're saying
Mr. President.
with the present proceeding.
Mr.
No,
President.
the gentleman from Taguig has the floor.
Mr. President, can I yield for a few minutes to Senator Lacson? He wants to interject
Yes,
on this point.
The
With the
gentleman from Cavite.
With the confirmation of the gentleman from Taguig, I just want to be clarified further because I have a copy of Exhibit 6 to Paul D and further 6 to Paul D-A. Ang nakalagay po rito, tama, date of revocation, May 26, 2003. Hindi naman po pwedeng sabihin patay ang korporasyon dahil meron naka-indicate sa another column, deadline to file petition to lift revocation. So, ang tanong ko po sa SEC, ano po ang status ng korporasyon between May 26, 2003 and May 26, 2010? Ito po ba'y patay na? Kasi pwedeng i-resuscitate eh. Deadline to file petition to lift revocation 2010. So, pwede pong ma-revive ito.
Yes, Your Honor.
So, active po yung corporation. Pwede maging active. Buhay pa po. Pwede nakaswero pero buhay.
But based on our opinion, when we revoke, it's already effective. Kasi otherwise, what's the use of revoking if it's alive, I'm saying.
But why do you have to give a deadline to file petition to lift revocation kung sinasabi niyong dead na?
So that we can finalize the order. But it's already effective.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Mr. President.
Thank you, Senator.
Just to
Cayetano.
continue and finish.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Are you saying, Your Honor, may I ask the SEC Director one question? No?
Proceed.
Yung pong deadline hanggang 2010,
Yes, Your Honor.
pwede po silang mag-liquidate?
If they will not file an appeal,
No, but they can liquidate their the assets of the corporation.
it's up to them.
So isn't cash advances a form of liquidation?
I don't think so, Your Honor.
Hindi, di ba? Kung 10 kayo sa korporasyon, may 10 milyon yung korporasyon, pare-pareho ang number of shares nyo. So, ibig sabihin, pag wala na kayong ibang utang, ibabalik ang tig 1 milyon sa 10 shareholders. So, instead nung final na hatian, ang ibig sabihin ng cash advance, ibinigay mo na in advance yung hati niya.
Kung yung po ang siguro ang ano nila na to liquidate, it's up to them.
Well,
Kasi it's no longer-
anyway, my time is up, Mr. President. But I just like to say, if these questions are preliminary and the prosecution is going into proving whether or not may utang talaga or kung may pera o fictitious yung pera, I can see the relevance there. But if the point of all of this is simply to point out na patay na yung korporasyon, we're wasting our time because it is irrelevant. Kasi kahit na patay na ang korporasyon, that doesn't mean na de facto they could have not given money to the spouses Corona. Thank you, Mr. President.
Mr. President,
The gentleman from Cavite. No, I
Thank you, Mr. President. Lalo po kaming nalabuan doon sa sagot nyo dahil sabi nyo, effective na yung kamatayan, ano? Sabi nyo, revoke eh. Pero sino yung sinulatan nyo na mag-file ng petition before the deadline imposed? Kung patay na, kanino yung address? No, I'm just talking
when I
practical
said,
terms, ano?
Kasi, ano po yun eh. When we revoke, it means that it is no longer corporate existence. That's the effect since we revoke. That's already effective. But we give the corporation the chance to appeal the revocation order because it's not yet final. This is the reason for this circular.
Yun nga po, doon nga kami naguguluhan. Ako particularly, kasi ano po ang status nga nung korporasyon na yon between those two periods or within the period, I mean.
sige.
I yield to Senator Dillon.
So the gentleman from Iloilo.
Can I have 2 minutes, Your Honor?
You have 2 minutes.
Mr. Witness, when a corporation's license is revoked, am I correct in my understanding that under Section 122 of the Corporation Code and the SEC regulations, this means that it can no longer operate except for purposes of winding up its affairs. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. And the corporation is given 3 years
to wind up its affairs. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
And therefore, it cannot continue in its regular business during the 3-year period.
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, that corporation cannot enter into a new business or perform acts in furtherance of the business during the period winding up. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
And the affairs of the corporation should be limited to those which would have a bearing to its liquidation. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, in the case of Basa Enterprises, when you revoked the certificate on May 26, 2003, it only meant that from May 26, 2003, for 3 years thereafter, it can no longer perform its regular business, but should only perform acts pursuant to a liquidation. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, you also mentioned that after the Guidote Basa or Basa Guidote Enterprises received this notice of revocation, there is nothing on the record which would show that they asked for a revival of this corporation.
Yes, Your Honor.
So insofar as the records are concerned, this corporation has ceased to operate because 3 years have lapsed since the time of revocation.
Yes, Your Honor.
And that is a statement based on the SEC Reorganization Act, which authorizes you, the SEC, to revoke the certificate of registration for failure to file the required reports as required by the SEC.
Yes, Your Honor.
That is all, Your Honor.
Thank you. The gentleman from Pampanga.
Yes, Mr. President, thank you very much. Just a clarification to the prosecution panel. Yesterday, you were trying to prove, or you were proving, with respect to the statement of asset and liabilities, certain properties that were excluded. That is your argument, hindi ba? In the SALN. Therefore, for lack of a better term, merong mga unexplained exclusions. In this case, there is an inclusion, meaning merong loan. May dineklara. Yung kahapon, may mga hindi dineklara. Ngayon, sinasabi nyo, may mga dineklara. Subalit, yung mga dineklara, questionable. And therefore, it goes again to the issue of the truthfulness of your SALN.
That is correct, Your Honor.
So kung kahapon, unexplained exclusions, for lack of a better term, ngayon, ang nais nyong patunayan, unexplained inclusions.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yun lang po. Salamat po.
Thank you. The gentleman from Aurora has 2 minutes.
Maraming salamat po, Pangulo. Palagay po, this all much ado over nothing sapagkat number one wala naman disagreement ang prosecution and defense on the authenticity of this document. So it's up to us to draw the proper legal conclusion. So we don't have to debate the conclusion because it's up to us. Ngayon, ang confusion dito arose from the fact that our witness made cancellation of the license synonymous with dissolution of the corporation. Mr. President, you and I took corporation law, and that's our specialty. It's the distinction between revocation of license to operate or registration is entirely separate and distinct from dissolution of the corporation. Revocation of the license to operate means cancellation of the registration, but that doesn't automatically result to the extinction of the corporation. Diba? As Senator Drilon explained, there's still a 3-year winding up period. Why? For a very practical reason. If sinabi mo, nirevoke ko yung lisensya mo, patay ka na, ay ano nangyari sa mga sweldo ng mga empleyado? Ano nangyari sa mga pautang mo sa suppliers, sa creditors? So, revocation of registration